everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Good, Bad, and Ugly of Business. I am your host, Katrin Becker. Today, I am joined by Jennifer Osborn. She is the founder of Talent Sense, an HR and recruiting solutions company for small to medium-sized businesses. We are so glad to have her here on the show where we talk about all of the things from business, the good, the bad, and the ugly from all different industries so that we can grow and learn from one another. So we're excited to bring in the HR lens to look at business and see what we can all learn and apply from there. So Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Kat. I'm so excited to be here and just kind of nerd out about all things I love related to HR and recruiting. So thanks again.
Well, hey, that is what we are here for, to talk about the things that we are passionate about and the things that we enjoy so much. You know, in different markets, like you'll hear, like in real estate, right? Oh, it's a seller's market, or oh, it's a buyer's market. And I would imagine the same kind of dynamics would exist in the workplace where there are, tons of jobs to fill. So the applicants really have their choice, or vice versa, when there's less jobs to fill and it's more kind of the company has their choice of who they want. So what sort of trends do you see happening right now in regards to those kind of dynamics?
Well, on the recruiting side, it is definitely the job seekers market. They can basically name their price right now. It's the craziest market that I've seen in the 20 some years I've been doing this. And my assessment is that, due to the pandemic, with everybody getting the opportunity to work from home and learning that they can have a flexible work arrangement that they could never have in the past, led them to see what the new world of work could look like. And a lot of the employers picked up on that and decided to start to treat their employees better than they ever have, with flexible work schedules or other perks. And the employers that didn't or couldn't, those job seekers moved on to another organization that did pay well, offer the flexible schedule, offer the extra perks, and so forth. So what's happened is all of these people have made so many moves in the last couple of years that they're not making moves anymore. So there's not enough job seekers right now to go around for all of the job openings. So it makes it really tough in recruiting now more than almost ever to actually fill positions. But for the job seeker, it's great because, like I said, they can literally almost name their price because employers are so desperate to fill positions often. I'll add that it really is hard on small companies in this environment because they can't afford to keep up with all of that, right? They only have so much money in the budget. And they also are concerned with internal equity. They're not going to bring in a new accountant to their team when the other people on the team are making, $50,000, and they're not going to bring in a new one at $60,000, right? Like that's not fair to the rest of their team. And usually small businesses care so much about that internal equity piece that they just can't possibly betray the other employees before they do that. So you can see the troubling place that they could be in. On the HR side, I would say that it could be also an employee's market, right? So they get to kind of list out what they want. I would say that all of my small businesses are saying that they can't keep up with all of their employees' demands. I think there's a lot on social media right now that is encouraging employees to speak up for themselves and, don't be afraid to ask for a higher salary or a different workplace, I guess, things that they're interested in. But how it's coming across is a sense of entitlement. So employers are, and especially small ones, they're feeling like, are you kidding me? Do you see all that I'm giving you? I'm already paying you this much, and the benefits and the year-end bonus, and you get to work from home, and it goes on and on and on. And then employers feel like I can't keep up. So there's this weird dynamic going on in both the employees, from the employees' perspective, and the job seekers' perspective, and for the business owners as well.
And you hear about like a lot of big companies, having these big major layoffs. So for people not really in the industry, it almost seems like there's a surplus of job seekers, but that's really not what you're seeing.
Well, now the layoffs, that's like a new spin to my whole story. So that is happening. And that creates a pool of candidates if you have openings for those roles. But the roles that are being cut a lot of times are like technology positions. And what's happening is those types of roles are just being eliminated or reduced at organizations anyway. So there's not matches necessarily for those that have been laid off. But I do believe it will shift over time, as things always do, and hopefully they all land positions again and it will all be fine. However, the other thing to note is that, and this is not, I've been laid off myself a few times, so it's nothing against anybody who's been laid off. But a lot of times there's this stigma of someone who's been laid off, right? Because you don't lay off your top performers, right? You take a look at who's performing the best and you're cutting out the extra, right? A lot of times, not always. I was a top performer and laid off. I still don't understand why, but that is what happens. So sometimes employers don't want to go after someone who has been laid off. So that there's another like dynamic or layer to that as well.
Like, yeah, that stigma, that scarlet letter that follows you around. And it's tough for companies. I mean, with all of the, the effects of COVID still being so prevalent. And I know from some of my my colleagues and friends in some very large, well-known companies of the requirements all of a sudden to go back to work and the impact that that's having on employees. I mean, I think it puts, the employers obviously in a tough spot. They're locked into these leases. They've built these beautiful spaces to have efficient workflow, and they didn't have a choice with, COVID, like, people had to work from home, but now people are used to it. And it's quite the dilemma that I see from both sides of things. And it's a sticky wicket.
It sure is. And I remember following the news on Disney as an example. They were one of the organizations that decided that they wanted their employees to return to the actual office. I think it was maybe 4 days a week or whatever it was. It was more than what they've been doing for the last few years. And they pushed back. Oh my gosh, they pushed back on social media. And they signed a petition, like thousands of them signed off on it, requesting that they change their mind and allow people to choose for what works for them. Because in their minds, they're thinking, I am more productive, or at least they think they're more productive. I don't know, it depends on the person, but I am more productive working from home. I know I am. I don't have the interruptions. I don't have the water cooler talk. I get more stuff done while working from home than I did working in the office. It's amazing, but not everybody, that doesn't work for everybody. People can easily get distracted. They can go out and mow the lawn. They can do their laundry. They can run an errand and not get their work done. But my stance is, I don't care where people work, whether it's at home or from a Panera or, in an actual office. It's about, are they doing their job? Are they meeting and exceeding expectations? That's what people really should be looking at. However, I do acknowledge that there are roles and there are industries in which physically being connected, at least occasionally, does create, promote a more thriving environment. So I do acknowledge that. So I just think for people that are trying to figure that out, it's important to just focus on, are they meeting or exceeding performance expectations, but also what's right for your business, and check yourself. Are you just trying to control your employees by micromanaging them and making sure that their butt is in their seat? Or are you really trying to do what's right for the business, right? Because we're all adults too. So we want to make sure that we're treating them as adults so that way they feel like they're being treated appropriately.
How can people reach out to you?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn. So my full name is Jennifer Osborn. That's Osborn. And then my email address is josborn. So JOSBORN at talentsensehr.com. That's TALENTSENSEHR.com. And thank you
for those who are listening while driving, if you're like me, I'll also have this in the show notes. So you'll be able to click on it. You don't need to worry about writing it down, but it's always good for those audio learners to hear it as well.
Yes, for sure. Thank you.
Absolutely. So thank you all to the listeners. Appreciate you so much. It means the world that you are here. Please make sure to like and review the podcast. And if you enjoyed this, please share it with your network. And if you'd like to be on the podcast, please reach out. We would love to interview you as well. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time.